MobiMissions is a game that you play with a mobile phone in which you use a camera phone to make missions for other people to do, and then you can rate how well you thought they did the missions and they can rate how good they thought the missions were.
Okay, cool.
Probably one of the most exciting things about the MobiMissions project is it is getting people to use camera phones to kind of create user-generated content. So, I mean, the world around us is now full of millions, no, tens of millions of people with phones on them. They're able to capture information from the real world about them, and that's, I think, potentially a really powerful way of creating new sorts of experiences.
Missions are made up of pictures and text and can be anything that they want it to be. It's really very open-ended. A mission is really a stimulus for somebody else to find, pick up and then respond to. And when another person comes along with a phone and searches, they then find missions and then can respond to them in any way that they like. All of the missions and the responses are then viewable on a website.
I think kind of one of the most interesting and perhaps kind of less familiar bits of technology behind MobiMissions is the kind of location-based aspect. So as well as, missions consisting of a series of images and texts, they're also routed to particular places in the world. So when you go somewhere, you look around and you might see that there are some missions that you can pick up at this place, and you can then carry these missions off and drop them at other places where people might try them out.
So yeah, that's what I found.
But always with a happy face.
Yeah.
We're keen to explore the nature of the public nature of what students are doing and how that affects their experience of making and responding to missions. We want to see the kind of connections between learners and between learners and spaces. And we're also quite keen to look at the interactions between the website and between the phone experience, so how those two things inform each other.
I thought it would be really interesting that missions were kind of attached to particular places, and you might need to go to a place to do a mission that was about that place. And actually, at the moment, we're not seeing so much kind of desire to do that. Instead, it looks like the missions we're seeing are perhaps more about social networks. It's about creating missions for your friends and them doing them, and the missions spreading around friendship groups more. And I think that's kind of quite an interesting thing to look at.